In this video we are going to visit physical modeling once again, but let me quickly note that I don't like the term physical modeling. Yes, I'm using patches comparably to Strong. I even do more complicated things, but it's not physical modeling, because if I did a physical model, I would have to measure physical properties of real instruments, and I would have to create a model based on those measurements, which I'm obviously not doing. The only measurement I do is using my ears and to listen to what I receive during the synthesis or the sound design stage of making music. So I'm really not calling this physical modeling. This is just a kind of synthesis that I really like and that many people do like. But anybody who is playing around with Strong patches, or who is playing around with comb filters, all-pass filters, anything, it's not physical modeling. That will be something different. Anyways, the method I'm going to show you today is going to be very versatile. It's going to make building these organic sounding patches pretty comfortable and easy, as much as comfortable it can get. So without further ado, let's jump into it, and I hope that this will be kind of interesting for you. So let me build the main basic let me build the main basic block first. Main building block first, sorry, I'm confused a bit. And I will call this com1 because we are going to use more comb filters. And the comb filter is nothing too special. It has an input. We add something to the input. We delay the signal. And we change the gain of the signal. And after changing the gain, we feed it back to the input. So it looks like this. And the output of the comb filter is right after the feedback point. So Y is the output. And we have 2 slots left, so we have to get something into the D input. So I press I above this D, and I have to press I here, and I call this FB, like feedback. And this is a basic comb filter, and this will work, and we will soon hear it. So this is one part of the job. The other basic building block that we need is an exciter, something that goes into this comb filter that creates resonance, so that we can resonate. And for this we are going to use the MIDI note node. The MIDI note node creates no, not the disconnect. I want to use the scope like this. So whenever we hit a key on our keyboard, this T output of the MIDI note node creates a 1 sample long signal that has the value of 1. If I turn on the gate, then you can see in comparison that it's only on the this peak only appears when the gate goes up. So we can use this as an exciter, so we just simply plug it into X like this, and we need to set the delay time corresponding to the pitch of the MIDI note. So we just plug in the pitch into the delay and convert it from pitch to milliseconds, because the delay is measured in milliseconds. And for the feedback value, we need some value in between 0 and 1. And so I set the minimum to 1, the maximum to 0. Because of this wave, I set the curvature to something like this. Then we have a much then the whole knob gets non-linear, and we have a lot of space in the 1 and 0.99 range. And then we get to the, as we get closer to 0, the faster we approach to 0. Anyways, actually this should be a working comb filter or something like a carpus strong patch. And it is indeed. So let's make this a bit better sounding, and that's going to be fairly simple. We just need to put a state variable filter on this trigger signal, and I'm gonna use the bandpass output because that's what I like to use. And this way we have something. It's also a nice thing to plug in the pitch into the cutoff modulation and use these exciter on the same frequency that the comb filter is going to be at. Yeah, this is a bit too much this way, sorry. Less Q. Fine. So yeah, this kind of works. It's good for demonstration purposes. Okay, the next thing that we would like to do is to a bit enhance this comb filter a bit. So we are going to use more comb filters. And for this, I will want to pass values from one comb filter to the other. Because I don't want to patch everything like a spider web. So this is just a helper for patching what I'm going to do now. So the input comes in, I want to send the input out as it is. I create an output for it and send it out. Then the delay comes in, I want to send it out. Like underline and D. And then the feedback comes in, I want to send it out as well. So if I create another comb filter, I just need to take the X, press 3 on my keyboard and plug the values into the next comb filter, and voila, I have two comb filters. I just have to mix them using a mixer and take care of the tuning the second comb filter. So I create a tune designer which will receive delay and output delay, and here in between I divide the delay time using a knob which will be receiving values on the tune input, and I also want to send out the dry delay value, underline D, like this. I hope this makes sense. So when we receive the delay, we can plug it in here, like this, and plug that into that delay. And just like this, we can create a knob and go from 1 to, let's say, 4, and we have two resonators. It's better to make it like the shape of 3, and this way we can fine tune easily. So this is one thing that we can do. This way we have several carpus strong patches. Things go out of tune, but I don't care about it for now. You have to find out where you have to insert subtract one sample of a delay. For the time being, this is fine. I wanna show the concept and not the final patch. And yeah, maybe it's a good idea to change the order here so that X is in front of the feedback and we don't output the delay, because we will always detune all the delay values, so we will use this delay instead. So it's, yeah, here X and FP, then these delay input should be the third input, like this. Yeah, this makes actually sense. So if we plug things like this way we can plug quickly. We don't get a delay here. Yeah, now it's good. Fine. So the idea that I had, and that makes things a lot more easy, is that we can remove this feedback from here. So we can arrange things like this, and we can create another output here after this multiplication and call it underline S, like state output. And this input we can call S underline, like state input. So S is for state. And we can feed this state back into itself, creating the same patch as we had before, so this won't change at all. And this looks like a unnecessary complication of things, because of now it's the same patch. But what we can do instead is to send these into the next, so send this state into the second computer and send it back into the first one. So you get the idea. This is kind of this is something like coupling. The only thing I don't like is that the patch would look good if we only had one delay inserted, so only one Z, but as soon as we plug things into the mixer, things get pretty messy, and we have the delay here where it shouldn't be. It should only appear here. If we plug this into the third slot, then things will be fine, but this is cumbersome. This is not something that's handy to do. So I create some bus here. So in front of this Y output, I create an input and an add node and create another input called sum. And this way, Y can always go into the sum. And yeah, like now, it's better to have Y as the last output, like this. So I deleted the second computer because I'm gonna reposition things, and I will call just this just Y in and this just Y out instead of sum, because that will make sense. So this way the naming is fine. And yeah, let's recreate also the delay input, so it gets the last one in the order. X feedback, S and Y. Okay, this is looking fine for me. Once again, align these nodes and copy paste. So this is all about convenience that I did now. So now we can just press 4, plug this here, and Y can come here, and S should go back to the first node, and yeah, this delay needs to go to its place. And now if I play this went into Y. It shouldn't be, it should be into the... Sorry, made a mistake. And we don't even need the mixer now. So this way the patch is pretty clean. And works. And we can change the tuning. And we can add more strings or more resonators to this system simply by copy pasting the patch like this. Just copy and paste. And take these outputs, press 4, plug in the delay, and use the Y output. And the state goes back there. So you have to understand how the patch works, but let's add one more resonator, because we can do as many as we want. It's just a matter of patching, but it's pretty simple, like this. Now just detune this, and yeah, give this the and yeah, I created this underline D for these purposes. Now it's better. Nice. Okay, let's also we can also introduce some nice effects, like we can put a filter here, like a filter 1-pole modulated, that will introduce damping in the state. And yeah, we can pretty much experiment around, and we will soon get something that sounds like a mallet, I'm sure. We can also invert the feedback. This starts to sound nice. Let's add some diffusion to this resonance. So let's make the exciter a bit more random. I create a white noise node, put a gain lane after it, which sets the gain of the noise. Add 1 to it. So if the gain is 0, this output is 1. If the gain is 1, this output is a random value between 2 and 0. So we can multiply the bandpass. And now this gets noisy. So we don't just mix noise to it. So yeah, these sound pretty nice to me. This sounds like a bell. And let's compensate for this one sample delay. So let's create a node for that. And for this first delay input, we will subtract the length of a sample. I call this node -1 sam. So delay comes in, we subtract a sample from that. The length of a sample in milliseconds, which is the length of the length output of the sample rate node, and we output the delay time. And actually this should work fine. Kind of. Since this is the only Z we have, this is perfectly fine for me. And yeah. And if we would put a multiplier here, then we could control how much these the actual note contributes to the output. So just by using again input, we can define the strengths of how much output we get from that state. But I don't think this matters a lot, but we can do it. And we can control it with a mixer like this. So just use the modulation outputs. At least for 4 notes this should work. And we can also invert. So, this is what I wanted to show you today. I hope this was kind of interesting. And I'm sure that this is less frightening than using the householder metrics or building or how householder metrics can be. Yeah, this still requires some patching, but I think this is kind of understandable and logical. And from this point on, it matters a lot of what your exciter sound is. It can be really anything. You can add more filters, you can change it up in a lot of ways. It matters a lot on the final sound of what the tunings of the comb filters is. You can also create realistic waveguides using this method. So you can use these states in pairs and give them different delay times based on position. If you watch my waveguide video, you can understand that patch and you can translate it to this structure, I think, fairly easily. I did that, but I do not want to make this video more complicated. If you want to, I can build that kind of patch, but for me this is more than fine, and I get really realistic mallet sounds, and I can get really interesting sounds using this. So I hope this is satisfying and fine for you as well. I'm gonna save this patch, and you will be able to download this from our Discord. And yeah, see you again soon. And yeah, visit us on our Discord channel, subscribe to this channel, and if you can, then support the development of Alpha Forever in some way. I think it's gonna be interesting later on as well. So, thanks for watching. Bye bye.